Therefore, listen to his program live every Monday to Friday from 1 to 2 o'clock Saturday. For the current news all about Salon. All right, family, this now is sweet salon, and this now you radio station, radio station, radio new song FM 97.7. The station where they broadcast to you family for peace, salvation, and development. We want to say kusha any side, and then welcome to today's edition of this program. Well, better still, if you want to be part of the show today, family, you can log in on all social media platform on the just log in on www.radionewsong.com or on any social media platform on the Facebook Radio News Song Live, and we also there on Garden Radio. When you click to Garden Radio, you go to Sierra Leone, you go to the southern part of Sierra Leone, and here we go, you see radio news song. Okay, from today now the second day of the new month, September, in the year 2021. We want to welcome you to the second edition of this program today. Live it, the program with the reports the country to you and yourself to the country. With this one, I want to say, make you just look at somebody near you and just say happy new month. And we all pray, say we all go end the ember month. As God don't make, we don't see the ember month. God will give you the grace and He will show mercy for we, and we go end the ember month and we go celebrate together. With these few words, I want to say you welcome to the show today. Inside the show, we get plenty stories and we'll go for bring to you across the country. Remember, say this is a program where they for make we bring out stories and want to be across the regions. Them we are in with the talk to reporters them across the country for make them tell you about what's in the be and what's safe, what me and you supposed to do. We will make and put smile now Mama Salon in face. Me make the program reach you. By God and grace, me Pastor Daniel Vandy on behalf of management and staff of this radio. But first, I will take we parable where you come out inside the basket today. Well, the parable come out inside the lavish basket. It say make we always be looking forward. It say you, me, and you know for never or ever. Never planned the future by we past. Make I go by the parable again inside the basket today. We come out for we. It go help we a lot as with the plan with future. It say always be looking forward, and you can never plan the future by the past. You know wherever plan your destiny. You know wherever plan your future. You know wherever plan your blessing by your past. Your past for always be your past, and your past for always be behind you. Why is me and you the plan for the future? And so I bring account to this context as Sierra Leoneans today. If we want to see better kind of a country, if we want to see smile kind of salon in face, make we forget about waiting we don't be, forget about the past, and make we think about waiting for be in with future. That we concentrate on waiting with the pan now, and the good things that we don't put in place for that we implement. Now then thing they for begin for look at our country. And when we do then thing in the you go see say salon go begin for smile. Alright, from with this parable, I want to say Again, you're welcome if you just join me. This is now your program, Live It's the program to report the country to you and you serve to the country with me, Pastor Daniel Vandy. Good afternoon.
Sweet, sweet, our motherland. Sweet, 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 salon. Sweet, sweet, salon.
Alright, family, welcome back to the program. For you, just a journey, maybe sometime you not been the way we pull the parable. The parable way we pull quick one for today's second edition inside this month. One for wish you a happy new month. We pray the month of September and all the ember months will be a glorious and a wonderful month for we all. Always be looking forward. It's always look forward. Always focus. They say you can never plan the future by your past. With this one quick one for going inside the stories that we'll get inside the program today. The first story I want to look at today inside Pujon district, where they just a few miles from Bo district inside Pujon today, as paramount chief tense election don't come to a standstill. Now one chiefdom now Pujon district will bring down the story to you, and as well as the collection of the local tax inside Pujon don't well, according to what we are, don't begin to enforce. We will bring another story today for you inside Pujon district. Again, for come inside the program, inside Freetown, where the nation's capital, inside Freetown today, the Anti-Corruption Commission, what we know for short ACC, don't inform the media and also the civil society organizations then on the investigation of the small use dollars, the $5 million for the renovation of Salon Embassy, a building inside New York, and serve for the Salon Embassy building inside New York City since 2011 up to this date. Not be completed yet. We will bring that information down to me. I go by the story again inside Freetown. The Anti-Corruption Commission today don't inform the media, that the entire media house and the civil society organizations in the country on the investigation where they don't start long time ago of $5 million US for the renovation of Salon Embassy building inside New York City from 2011 way up to date, according to them, say no completed at all. And get set for come inside Freetown, the Deputy Internal Affairs Minister don't take a lawsuit against one freelance journalist, where according to them they say they claim to be an investigative journalist inside the country. We will bring another story. Other than the journalist, they don't take this lawsuit against, and they're waiting to do the crime where they commit. They near your radio, and we will bring another story to you inside the program. For coming inside the program, from the Independent Police Complaint Board don't organize a day training on what they call guidelines on the coordinations of arrest. Guidelines on the coordinations of arrest, police custody, and pre-trial detention in Africa. Okay, this training they go on according to them. Now the one link inside Bo, we will bring out the story to you inside the program. The Bo District Disaster Management Committee today don't end plans for make them go support the August 21 flooding victims then inside Bo City. We'll bring another story where we know the flooding will be inside August 21 at Bo will not be fine for some of the people them. But good news don't come on and do for them today, and we'll bring another full story to you inside the program. Well, from the last one I will bring to you, plus your text message where you go send to the number where I will give you just now the multiple resignation of football coaches them across the country. Well, this is now a concern to football fans them, and a concern to many Sierra Leoneans them. We see we side coaches them don't resign from different clubs them across the country. Why did they resign? What's the behind the resignation? We don't know. But we sport reporters and don't stand by for tell me what's the behind the resignation of football coaches them across the country. From all this we get time for this. Now the number you go send your text to or your comments in case you feel strong on any stories where you hear from the program today. Send your comment to the number 078 051 555 or 033 509-611. 033-509-611. Send a comment to the numbers, and then in case if he's strong on any story where you get inside the program.
Sweet, sweet salon, motherland, sweet, sweet, sweet salon. Yeah. This now is sweet, sweet salon. Accepting travel. This now is sweet, sweet salon. Inside Jesus Christ the reign. Salon, sweet salon, motherland, sweet, sweet, sweet salon. Yeah. This now is sweet, sweet salon. Accepting travel.
All right, family, of course, this now is sweet, sweet country mama salon. I like how things got sote. I like how the family tick bend so kind of a way make we not allow for make that tick the broke at all. Remember the parable what we say, make we put the past way behind we, and when we look before, then we put smile na mama salon a face again. Now we go straight to the program. Proper we talk about first story where they come out from Bo City and Bo District. The Bo District Disaster Management Committee today we said on end plans for make them go support the August 21 flood victims then inside Bo City. Fambo work we recall a couple of weeks ago inside Bo this month we just on end August one ABA rain been come will lead to disaster inside Bo City where we get some victims and some man be homeless, some man lost in property, and plenty other things that be destroyed for sake of the flooding will be take place. For sake of that, the Bo District Disaster Committee in their wisdom we meet and talk to the people and promise and say they must help them. And today we already say plans for support them down World Water Tiganga one. We reporter Anthony Gasumo Brema be part of the planning, and he be engaged one Momo Conte where they part of the disaster management as a secretary inside this interview.
I am Momo Conte, the District Security Coordinator, Office of National Security, and I also the double as the secretary for the Disaster Management Committee, that is the District Disaster Management Committee of Bo, and at the same time I serve as the secretary for the District Security Committee, DISEC.
Okay, with all these good introductions, a couple of weeks ago, 2 to 3 weeks now, we began a torrential rainfall. Usai houses then be for destroyed or property worth millions of leons, bigger for be destroyed now. Some sections inside Bo, like Manjama, Kalon Street, then we'll look at Sokuma, New Site, and other places them. When I meet with the flood affected people, and when I get some discussions with them in a district disaster management meeting, what will be some of the resolutions? And first, why the meeting?
Well, of course, as a district disaster management committee, now committee we get the responsibility for not only respond to disasters within the district, but for mitigate disasters. So it is not only about being responsive when there is a disaster, but it is a committee that is charged with the responsibility of ensuring that they provide early warning and early response, and then the primary mandate of the Office of National Security being an outfit where they look at all issues where get tendency for create threats within the district, all issues where security concerns. We look at them, we provide early warning for say these issues have the likelihood to result to threats or disasters as the case may be. And when there is a disaster, we provide a response. So as a committee, like you rightly stated, about a few weeks ago, we get an information we indicate say there were floods around both city and its environs. So what we do at the onset now for ensure say we go now then various communities and around Koribondo, Blackie Drive, New Site, and some other communities. We go on the ground, we look at the flood, how it affects them communities, and we do an assessment of the entire situation, and we capture the information of all the affected persons so as to see how, as a committee, we will respond. So we don't do all of that registration and assessment process. We look at some of the factors we are responsible for the flood. Now some communities and they like that Canon Street, the residents there of the community, and based on information they will get that indicate say there is a fence where they allow the water for flow well. Whilst at the same time the committee don't provide warning and advice to people them for stop for reside and then disaster prone areas then and we get members of the committee we get the responsibility for look at certain areas them like the Environment Protection Agency, NPPA and all these other institutions, Ministry of Lands, Housing. You look at certain area them, they don't demarcate some area and say people are not supposed for reside and then disaster prone areas here. Because if they reside there, any disaster will happen, then will be affected. And their lives will be at stake. The lives of the Pekineng will be at stake. The education of the Pekineng will be at stake. So because of that, several warnings then be done they happen, but people are not the yield. So as a committee, we say, let me get a meeting with all relevant stakeholders and even the affected persons. So now initial meeting where the resident minister South, BD, the Bo District Council Chairman, BD, the acting mayor of both city council BD. We get first meeting, now the second meeting the deputy chairman of both district council BD, and other stakeholders including Action Aid, Silent Red Cross, PDO, Caritas, and plenty other civil society organizations then BD. Of course, Yusuf BD now one of the meetings that we hold, where we call the affected persons them, not so primarily for what tell them say they can't give una money for una kumoya or they can't give una food items or XYZ. But rather than for let we all sit down as members of the committee and as affected persons, let me look at the causes of this flood and how they could be mitigated. So fortunately we were able to get various suggestions from people and we get action points we roll out in due course. But as it stands now, we don't get partners that we don't ready for come on board for see how would they respond to the people in needs at the time being. So we don't do all of that assessment and the people already in charge, we get responsibility for do the social mobilization of providing support, then they will respond accordingly in due course.
Yes, because just like what you say exactly, that's not the wish of people for making them get an immediate response from the district's disaster management committee in as much as they have been affected. In schools they can reopen, for some homes food not there. There is nothing worth talking about. So how soon you think say this could be addressed?
So as you state, we know say school beginning they were affected. Then we all lost in school materials, uniforms, and other things. We also are aware as a students then we were affected, especially Jala students we did around our Blackie Drive. There was even somebody we get some challenge. We in blind, but I don't get personal contact with most of them, and the partners away for provide this social support, they already wait for the assessment list. So all this while under the rain, myself, the resident minister, the Body District Council chairman, and all the other stakeholders there. Now under the rain we go do the assessment. So I began the responsibility as the secretary for the district disaster management committee and maybe in the awareness district security coordinator for put together the list of all affected persons. So I don't do harm as I speak now, I get her with me, and today I hand over the documents to PDO now they provide leadership role for that particular area day. So once then get the list, then we don't assure we at the last meeting say then we'll see how they provide some kind of support to them people there.
Okay, most people can say yes, but it's not too necessary for be reactive, but sometimes for be proactive in areas of mitigating disaster. And you find out, say, most of them people and we affected, them building structures, them in a wetland, and wetland as per understanding belongs to government. As a representative of the Office of National Security and being a body to the DDMC, which measures do they put in place? Because resident minister be once say in a statement that they don't mind they go use rain boot or rain gear for go and then wetland there any baking way they then go remove and come out.
Whilst we note the fact that we currently get the disaster management agency, the ONS as an entity has the responsibility of providing early warning and early response. So we're not only responsive, but we do most of things. We do most things we sometimes get for do with mitigation, identifying potential threats, doing risk assessment, and say raise the alarm. Say this thing we wanna they do or XYZ not good and get the tendency for put the life and security of people at stake. So once we don't provide that early warning, it is about preventing waiting for happen in the future. As I speak now, one of the action points that we even though pinpoint that meeting, we are not going to say the all waiting we agree on for obvious security reasons. Now that we get the responsibility now for go back. These are things that have been done before now. Now, do we just continue for redo them? Most people where they live in our wetlands, then swamplands, and now area the way then we don't demarcate. See, people are not for there. In fact, there was a particular community where people who construct some houses where I don't privy to that information. See, then we don't own them before now. Say they're not for DD, and then we don't even demarcate the put signboard for telling say people are not for reside here. Yet people they still continue for go reside at them places. So as a coordinator of the Office of National Security, we cannot say because then we don't want people enough for there, they don't take several measures for the people are not DD. So if there is a disaster, we cannot respond. No, even though we don't do bokutin, we may have taken several actions or we have taken several actions, but we still get the responsibility for providing response and assistance where the happen. So not they say because we don't put mitigating measures them, we don't put preventive measures them, we don't stop people them for reside in them place then they, but still then go they back. So if problem they will abandon them. No, we still have the moral responsibility for provide support to them in different forms.
All right, that's the Office of Disaster Management Committee, Momo, the Secretary, Momo Conte, the talk to we on Anthony Gasimu Bremer. Well, we want to say them kudos, and we pray that they go fast track every plan we then get for come to the aid of the victims there, because the more it's delayed, the more it's dangerous. And of course, government, we don't say, dwell in a certain area because of your own life, because of your own safety. Do you have a fun with them? Let we listen to what's in government, then tell we, let we come out outside the danger, especially when the rainstorm begin can heavily, so it will lead to another thing. When family can be part of the program that live it, the program that reports the country to you and yourself to the country. You can be part of the show, send your comments, them to the number 078 051 555 or 033 509 611. 033 509 611. Send a comment into then numbers and then will get them for them. Again, quick one, remember you the number at 078 051 555 or 033 509 611. You can also get you on all social media platform across the world. You get you on Facebook, you get you on Garden Radio, and then you get you on the YouTube. We are already there, and you also get you on the Radio New Song FM 97.5. One for left, Anthony inside Bo, and come again to Paul Kamara. We happen to be one of the sport reporters them now Radio New Song FM 97.7 here. So Well, based on the allegations, this BNTM, we see a lot of coaches them from different clubs them don't they resign from the football competition. Now a concern to football fans them, and also now a concern to many Sierra Leoneans them across the country, and more especially now a concern to people them inside Bo, where they ask plenty question why this resignation they go about. And so Paul Kamara, now one of the sports reports at them, where the practice now reading a song here, they go around and investigate about the resignation, make up bring names of a club of the one that we don't already resign. We will get evidence of number one, now the Bo Rangers Football Club. We see who side one Vandy Massaquoi also don't resign. We get hold of a resignation letter as well. And also we get one John Dominic Kone. I suppose, and I stand to be corrected, he's the head coach of Bo Rangers. Also, we see a resignation letter, not even to we, but it's all over the social media. And it's a concern to football fans in Bo. It's a concern to very many Singaporeans. And so we want to know why the resignation this time around. We try very hard to get onto reporter Paul Kamara, we now one of our sports reporter here now reading this song FM 97.5 for Terry why this resignation. As soon as we get a from we'll come back to you and bring you the rest of the story. But meanwhile, continue for sending comments to the number 078 051 555 or 033 We'll get Paul on the line from Paul, good afternoon and welcome to the show.
Yeah, good afternoon, Pastor Daniel, and good afternoon to listeners of Reading New Song and Live.
Yes, I just want to give people a background of the resignation of coaches them from different football club. And we don't know the other football club, but we get evidence of Bo Rangers where we happen to see a few coaches and they resign for Bo Rangers. One Vandy Massaquoi, and we later on see one John Dominic Kone, we happen to be the head coach. And so, what's in there behind the resignation that is concern to football fans and my brother?
As you rightly say, it's a confirmed one. Yesterday, precisely, we see resignation of two coaches. Well, two of them, of course, now coaches from Boya. Where the one Coach Vandy Massaquoi, as you rightly say, Coach Vandy Massaquoi, now the former coach of Sati FC, where we don't get a stint with Bo Rangers Academy. Bo Rangers Academy now a big team. Or like what would say the junior side to the senior side when Bo Rangers Football Club. And so he resigned from a position yesterday where in a letter we addressed to the club secretary, of course, in not being given any reason to a resignation. But of course, in a one-on-one interview, he talked to me lengthily about conditions and plenty other issues where it began for her life.
Which conditions? Can you be very specific here?
A talk say, well, this club, they now want for ensure say they bring boys like under 14, under 15, want for build up the team. Where in already we don't take over this side, and if we get some young boys that way very loyal to them all the way from back in days when I started TSC, of course, Bo Rangers Academy been by this club and they began for name as Bo Rangers Academy, previously known as TSC. So Coach Vandy Massaquoi has been with the side, and I don't groom up several young players. And now the decision from some quarters of the club, this now the latest we don't want to do ensure say they bring they say they want to start the club from a grassroots, whereby they'll get the under 14, 14 years old boys, 15 years. So he said that was in the initial, whatsoever. So that is just like the policy say, there will be an instance whereby they will come and do away with them players will be done in at the club. And where the latest move where they want for doing and waiting they want. So instead, will be part of that. Okay. Looking at the loyalty where the players don't it go just feel like betraying them and where want for do that they in anything. So they resigned yesterday. He highlights that particular one. I called the PRO for Bo Rangers Football Club in Solomon Denby. Of course, just waiting at the reaction as a club towards the latest development or towards the resignation of then coach. We've been there with the junior side in our Bo Rangers Academy, where he tell me say yes, as a club, they don't receive the letter, but for now, they don't get nothing per se as no official statement. Maybe they go full what Nado in subsequent days. So
all right, now, Paul, let me bring you come to John Dominic Kone. We understand say he's the head coach of Boringa. So why resignation as well?
Wow, Coach John Dominic Kone in the I should like to say the coach of Bo Rangers Football Club, where he don't take over since 2019 after where Bo Rangers began for sack the then coach winner Coach Tito Cole inside 2019. Coach Tito Cole said began for he just take 3 months as manager for Bo Rangers after where he be replaced the club a longest serving team manager winner. Coach Ernest Hallowell then turned the day after where the club, of course, being they perform. So it been take over. Tito Cole be take over from Ernest Hallowell and Coach John Dominic Kone began for take over from Coach Tito Cole. Tito Cole be just take 3 months, as I say, and John Dominic Kone since 2019 to be specific, May 9 when they began for officially unveil him as the caretaker coach, and when later they began for permanent term. If they don't in the serve in that position as head coach, and it meets the club in a very deplorable position where with the help of the club executive as well, we see they bring in several big name players, and it began to transform this club. But what's really now the main reason for a resignation, where it states a letter that it gets a national appointment where assistant coach 2 for Leon Stars. Leon Stars on the senior side, the national side for Sierra Leone, the senior side, where they can call Leon Stars, the nickname now Leon Stars.
Okay.
So we don't appoint several national coaches, whereby we get former Eastern Lions coach, John Kista, when they serve as the head coach. We get Amadou Karim, where of course they will FC Calon as the assistant coach 1, and John Dominic Kone have been the assistant coach 2. So it says looking at the commitment and the concentration wise with the national side, and obviously say it will be more effective with the this side when Bo Rangers Football Club. So a team and say, look, as we're looking at the urgency and looking at the seriousness of the game at hand, the AFCON tournament na Cameroon we go for play. Because Sierra Leone currently in a very difficult position where some pundits, some Sierra Leoneans as well already writing off Sierra Leone, say Sierra Leone maybe only a miracle. Because Sierra Leone are in a difficult position whereby we get the defending champions, when Algeria in the same group, then at the one that we win the past Africa Cup of Nations. We deal with the former champion, winner Ivory Coast, and Equatorial Guinea, where just like we made 3 appearances in the tournament.
Okay.
So Coach John Dominic Kone, this is a reason why he states because of the commitment to the national side, and not go able for, of course, now the step aside.
All right,
and,
Paul. Yeah. Okay. Now we left you, and we'll bring you come back again for another subsequent stories. And thank you very much for the information. Now that you don't tell me the reason why then 2 coaches here resign, and Fambo themselves don't know the reason. We'll come back to you.
Pastor Daniel, they come 5 days after when the club we don't just come with former Cambo Eagles coach winner Coach Alhaji Fore, where the popular name Abedi as member of the technical side. Well, now they say probably maybe is it that Bo Rangers this not waiting that we get before a plan or a plan, because Coach Abedi now have been a coach for Cambo Eagles and serving as a member of the technical side, but only for me we see this resignation of Coach John Dominic Kone. Some are saying maybe Alhaji Fore will be the next coach of Bo Rangers. Some as well saying from some quarters say it will be even possible that probably Bo Rangers will bring in another coach. But so far, no official statement not come up from the club as to who that will take over the club on maybe interim basis or permanent basis. So we'll wait in subsequent days for see who that Bo Rangers.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. Famble in Paul Kamara, one of his sports reporters. Now here they tell me give you details, information on the resignation of some coaches now the Bow Rangers Football Club, now the southern part of the country. We don't hear vividly talk about Vandy Massacre, give reasons why Vandy Massacre resigned, and also give reason why John Dominic Connor also resigned from the club. Well, continue for sending comment in case you watch we view it on the Facebook or you listen to it through radio. Send a comment to the number 078-051-555 or 033-509-611. Keep them coming, keep your comments, then they come, we'll get time for them inside the program. One for left, Paul Kamara over there, and come quick to another story where I think the same Paul do. We're going to deal with the independent police complaint board don't organize a day training according to what we get here on what they say guidelines on conditions of arrest. Well, according to them, the police custody and pre-trial detention Africa here. So Lundinda, what according to the guidelines for police officers at one link the training they carry on right now as Paul is speak. We get Paul again, we'll go around there and do this interview. Why the training, why they decide for just limit the training on police arrest and then detention, something around that. And this then we get for Tepo.
All right, the Independent Police Complaints Board organized one day training. Of course, now one word link now, but we don't somebody will just go introduce himself. Hello and welcome to this interview. Name and we'll always talk to you.
Yeah, hello. Thank you very much. My name is Amadou Famous. I'm the Program and Communications Officer at the Independent Police Complaints Board, or the Call for Shots IPCB.
All right. So, what's in this training they're about, and what are they on a target for this training?
Yeah. Basically, the training one way the Independent Police Complaint Board they organize with financial support from the United Nations Development Program UNDP. We target 20 police officers then with 20 other members of the civil populace. The other 20 comprise of correctional center workers, city council police officers then. We get persons with disability, and we also target about 2 media practitioners. We also get people who pull from the civil society branch and even from the human rights defenders wing. So basically, now then people we get to the way we try for train. But in every district we train about 40 people, and out of the 40, as I say, 20 they be police officers, and then 20 other members of the civil populace. This now something we don't start back in 2018, when in 2017 we get knowledge of the existence of the Luanda guidelines, that are the guidelines on the conditions of arrest, police custody, and pre-trial detention in Africa. What we do, we engage the commission, that are the African Commission of Human and People's Rights, from the camp training on how to implement or roll out the Luanda guidelines successfully. So after that training, we develop a 5-year strategic plan for implementing the Luanda guidelines successfully. So we share the document with UNDP, and UNDP show interest. They said they will support the implementation of the document. So we started in 2018, we trained 464. Then 2019, we trained about 591. And then 2020, because of COVID, we'll not be able to embark on the implementation. So this is the third phase. We train about 640. That now 40 per district, and including Freetown and Waterloo. So we get 16 districts. We get Freetown, Waterloo, and the 14 districts. So far, we don't conduct training at 9 districts or 9 locations. Freetown, Waterloo, we don't do a Karine, we don't do a Kwenadugu, we don't do a Falaba, we don't do the 3 districts in the eastern region, and then Tonkolili. So this particular trip will happen for be the second phase of the training. We do one inside Bo, Pujahu, Moyamba, Bont. We go to Bombali, Cambia, and then Potloko. So that will mark the end of the training for this particular year. So in total, as I say, we target 640 participants. Yeah. So basically, I focus on 3 important modules. The first one, we'll talk about police oversight and accountability mechanism in Sierra Leone. We'll talk about the establishment of the Independent Police Complaint Board, and then the call by the African Commission on Human and People's Rights for civilian oversight bodies away for the investigate police way to do that. And even the creation of the IPCB, I will tell anybody now, also come from the SLPP government. By then, they were opposition anyway, where they lost the 2012 elections, and there were allegations for the police beat their supporters them. So then call on government for create the IPCB. So government itself for create the IPCB sometimes in 2013 by the IPCB regulation of 2013. And then the second module we're helping for the trust of this engagement now the Rwanda guidelines on the conditions of arrest, police custody, and pretrial detention in Africa, where basically a kind of a recommendation from the African Commission on Human and People's Rights on how we correctional workers and then even with police officers for before the way they do their job. Back then, sometimes in 2014 or May, where they adopt the document and find out say the way some of the police are across Africa, even the correctional centers workers, how do they do their job? They are against best practice. So then put this guidelines together for make them able improve on how they do their job. So the third one, therefore focus on the use of force and firearms by law enforcement officials. What are the principles? What are the permissible circumstances for a policeman discharge firearm or use force? And what are the procedures, the principles? So these are some of the things we will look at anyway.
So how
quite true. You're very correct. We're expectation that it will beef up the level of professionalism. It will able to guide them for do the right thing and the monitoring mechanism. And when I say the media practitioner, when I say the part of the monitoring mechanism, you are all part of the external oversight. The difference between we and IPC and one another, one the outside of the corridor of government, we within government, and we go able to conduct investigation. And one of your responsibility now, what you can call see something, say something, so that it will attract the attention of government or any other institution where they're in charge. So we all get for monitor. One way where we the monitor now for ensure say we engage the police and see what's they happen, and also engage the public for listen to a complaint they come up from una. And whenever we get a complaint from any member of the public or a concern relating to how police they do their job, we can also come in as an oversight body, engage the police and see how we will advise and how we will improve on policing in general. Mind you, Section 3.2 of the IPC regulation of 2013 mandate we say we get a mandate for advice the Sierra Leone police on how we will improve on policing in general. And one way we they advise now for conduct training for them, get one-to-one engagement with the executive management board of the Sierra Leone police or any of the leadership in the various locations there. So basically that so therefore we can do the monitoring exercise.
All right, Fambo, that's now Paul Kamara again, the end interview with the Sierra Leone Police Independent Police Complaint Board, where they organize a day training for the guidelines on the conditions of arrest, according to what they say that they look at the Rwanda, guidelines and implementing at the country. The training they go across the country, and then this is not time for Bo. Young training. Continue for sending comment to the number 078-051-555 or 033-509-611. The program now live it in case you just join me. The program will report the country to you and you said to the country. We talk to reporters them across the regions for tell you exactly waiting they make news outside and there. Now we want for left camera inside Bo and go straight inside the nation's capital again, Freetown. Also want for see where in the investigations of the Anti-Corruption Commission a couple of time ago where they don't begin for today they don't inform the media and they don't also inform the civil society about the investigations of the $15 million for the renovation of the embassy inside New York City. Well, we own reporter Tutu Rogers, the follow-up of the ACC meeting with the media and the civil society inside Freetown inside this interview. Tutu, good afternoon, welcome to the show. Hello, Tutu. Tutu, good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello, Tutu.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, my brother.
Hello. Thank you very much.
Yes, I just informed the general public about the Anti-Corruption Commission meeting with the media, civil society on the investigation of the $5 million. Now, the United Kingdom. What's all about?
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Before this time, claimed that Sierra Leone does spend on documentation, does spend $5.9 million US dollars for renovate a permanent mission to the United Nations premises, where they inside the the New York City. And this, they come out as a project they don't do, and they don't do now. Nothing that they give for do. But later come out for before. We go recall that sometimes back, the African press, when carrying on bar, were like kind of revolutionary activist of the Africanist press. And they come out with this word say that that's so the alleged say, but not false. So that they prompt the ACC, because the news be there all over, everybody they talk here. So that give cause for the ACC come out for investigate. But before the ACC they investigate, the Africanist press they talk about this for investigation. They also know that given to the ACC, and if I call to their attention, then the president himself, retired Brigadier Julius Maada, on the trip one day, and when they go, he face this embarrassment, say, look at the way your structure is. But I claim they say, when I don't put money for this, all things don't go well. Why it is so? So upon this, ACC, they start the investigation. And African press side, Cherno Bar, it's a echo, the same thing.
All right.
So this investigation.
Tutu.
Yeah.
Let me get something straight here. The investigations where ACC don't mount or will be don't mount. Now, on which specific organization or individual way that they carry on the investigation on the alleged money?
The investigation cut across. Mr. Saidu Nalo, by then, this does start from 2011 to date. And from that 2011 to date, Saidu Nalo, then be they in charge. And then be they in charge by them. The place they.
In charge of what? In charge of what?
The mission. Represent Salon by them. And now he give the contract to an American citizen. American way named one Jones. This Jones Davis in the America, but I be the contractor where they get this particular project. And since that time when they get the project, they fail for go through the due procedures we charge for the go on with the project. And the Black claim say 88.8% don't happen when at the work we don't know. Not only when through investigation for $5.9 million US dollars come from that say now only 47% of the job don't go on. The rest na be story. 4.7 million US dollars. Now claim say they don't left. Well, not use at all. So they say use. But in ACC investigation, no can find out say 4.7 million. They don't left when at the job they work for it take place. So upon this, they invite all those that were involved in the process, whosoever. And most of the people that have been involved by the process bring them to investigation. The Foreign Affairs Department, Affairs Ministers, then the Foreign Affairs Development, then Dr. Ayukaba, we became recently go did it and later transferred to Egypt. Then you get Dr. Francis Kakai, Ralph Williams, Dr. Samora Kamara, Honorable Naomi Nabila Tunis, and more. These are the people that they bring them on board for let them investigate and seize the begin at that particular area and the finance ministry. For let them really see to documentation how this process be wrong. Then the confidence say when they investigate all the process there there were too much of flaws. The gaps that between Tobacco, where they not attend to that at all, will make this happen. And OCC therefore go to document by document for let them can bring too many facts for can say there were gaps and the people were not feel at all. So upon the investigations, they don't exactly know now whether they will charge in a court anytime from now.
Okay.
Based upon the investigation.
All right.
But one of the wanted person will not agree for sure. Now the side don't allow be in charge by them. And the doctor say if for sure from now as early as possible, or else they could even charge in absentia. If they find out guilty, go be indicted. That means they will be warranted for let issue up forcefully.
All right.
So very soon from now, we will see inside the charging will be done accordingly.
All right. Let we left that one day. Why is the Anti-Corruption Commission to carry on their investigation, and we will bring the same word back to farmer. They made them know who that the commission don't charge for sake of the investigation. Now let we come to another news here where they make stories in Freetown about a freelance journalist where the law don't catch or the law don't better. So who are this freelance journalist and which crime, and then just tell me the story around them inside the program.
There is somebody named Cyril Harold Smith. Cyril Harold Smith.
Harold Smith, yes, it's a popular name.
Yeah. Cyril Harold Smith say an investigative journalist, and he come out with some statements against the Deputy Internal Affairs Minister when Lahel Lawrence Lima.
Okay.
For say it at a checkpoint and meet. It can book some police. They put them on back boot and come today. They don't know the whereabouts, and he used some other statement the way the Deputy Minister not saying to be respectful, and he make allegation upon our way the story not correct. Then he don't decide, since the libel law, they don't want, go journalists then now for go take them to police or police go arrest them, go the civil way. So it's a true civil way they're gonna put, and they don't call on serious mean by official document for they go appear in a court anytime from now. For sure, if you not show up and the matter be charged, invited from the 31st August, this August anyway just end so. And if you not show up in a court, come the day where let us schedule for the matter, then if nobody to blame, but the court will take his own course. So it purely then a civil matter where the minister take against her for use was there upon the personality where the story not be true at all. And from the story gathered, they say a whole lot a carrier gonna put them on back boot and not know the whereabouts, where it can be say another story say that the deputy minister came at the checkpoint for over a minute. It not be the police said they abandoned this checkpoint. Nobody know they. Not until we blow home till 9, one of the commons, the minister they talk to her. In fact, he outputs as per information, it be jack, it be drunk. So with this and the other lady said, come on, he said the same thing, give appropriate answer. And mind you, that's the deputy minister for internal affairs for police there. So he decided for phase two, where Aaron say he put in a back boot, where he can have a back boot, but a 3-seater, and David and the security there, with all kind of free time hand over for investigation, why they for abandon.
Okay, now to make an all you day, let me come to them very police officers here, so we really talk back at the minister. Is it that they're not being recognized, the Deputy Minister of Internal Affairs, or they're not being noticed and aim being talked to and so, or otherwise?
Well, this is one of the things that they want people there for drug, for too much of drinking.
Okay, they be under the influence of drug.
Thank you. And if they talk to them, their statements we are not as an officer, he not be there within the conference of the jurisdiction.
Yes.
So that maybe they take them for let them go where they go to council and they know now said the day, then they go talk things straight. So something like that, but it was misunderstood by serious means say he not tell the teller.
So let me talk about the journalist in side of the story. You know, gets a fact of the story, and then it go ahead and make statement against the minister, right? That's why they're in court, right?
That's exactly the statement. That's exactly what to make they na court now. I mean, they send the matter to court because as alleged that in an investigating journalist, they get for good debt or they left gap for areas the way you know say not go explain better. But conclusion as if you know it or they can happen for like this, so it's unfortunate.
All right, now Tutu, let me go far away from the freelance journalist. Publishing something against the minister, we're not true. Let's talk about who is a freelance journalist, and then let's talk about the advantage and the disadvantage for you being a freelance journalist, where you don't get no umbrella, you don't get no organization, where in times like this will come, say, let me do this, let me do that. So, can we say something about that?
I think you don't begin to give the discretion of the freelance journalist already. now somebody it by himself.
Yes.
It just sound like a one practice for like a bisu. But or they admire how the one that you do away they are well certificated. So if they to that tax, they copy the system, then it therefore be very, very credible in a reporting and with facts, because if not on that one day, if he falls short, he not go advocate on his behalf.
So which lesson you go want to make other freelance journalists them when they listen to it or they watch it through the social media across the country go learn from this story?
The lesson is, if you are a freelance journalist with no documentation or not attached to any media house, in non-newspapers you go first now, college or get certificate. But if you are attached to a media house, you can be in practice with experience or practical knowledge in journalism. Journalism that you possibly do at any angle. But in doing it, you get for be attached for let you be recognized. So that in case of anything, if you go wrong, mistake day, because no one is perfect, then you have people to come aid you. But if you don't get that one day at all, and you are not attached or known for journalism for any media house one day, then when you fall short, you face the bullet. So freelance journalism, somebody way, if you really want to do that kind of news, you foresee that all the facts is within your hand. Or the one, if you report, the one way you know now you go talk. The other way you don't know, say, but this and this, I don't know it until I get on, then I will bring back to you. I think that's the gap you need for your safety.
Yeah, all right. Thank you very much, Tutu Rogers, for the update. We pray for joining tomorrow for the same program, same time, and same station. Have a blessed day, my brother.
Amen, amen, and amen.
All right, Fambo, that's now Tutu Rogers, the report from the nation's capital, Freetown. They talked to me on several updates. One get to do with the Deputy Minister of Internal Affairs and the freelance journalists in court. I'll also tell you about the investigations around the ACC where they investigate. Don't call the media practitioners and civil society them today for getting an update on the investigation of the $5 million United States dollars. At the United Kingdom, for renovation of the investigation still continue, and the court, the commissioner begin calls for names them, and as soon as the names and they found guilty, will bring them come back to you to the same program. Well, let's go through the text message the family don't send inside the program. The first text that they say kudos to all good police officers who are working in the interest of Mama Salon. And they come out from Tennessee, Mambu, it's up now 1940 Camera Street, Bondo Town, and send this one. All right, I think it is said this in line with the police story, wherein they undergo a day training from another organization. Another one here, they say, this one they say, thanks to New Song for their good work. God bless the entire team. All right, it come from the same Bamboo again. Thank you, my brother, for the compliments. We pray and hope say you will continue for watch, continue for listen to new song for more interesting programs. We will always come your way. I think from will get much. Now this will get time for we'll read the other text in his subsequent programs. Well, thank you to all reporters. I mean, you presenter Pastor Daniel Vandy. I know we'll go without the same thank you to you. We listen. And we also learn something from the Bible way. I'd say always be looking forward, not give up, and also you can never plan the future by your past. Thanks to Mr. The Operator today, brother Ahmed Toronka, what we could call LAT for short. Bloody thank you to him and to Yusuf. We listen. You want for saying comment? Maybe you are not strong. Also thank you to you. So we meet again tomorrow, same time, same station. Remember, this is September. Today the second day. Continue for connect yourself with the Lord. Continue for get closer to God for your protection as we did in the Ember month. God bless you and God bless you. Tata.
Inside Jesus Christ.